All right, loves, get ready with me, Dermatillomania edition. First, I'm going to show you my mirror and how I approach sitting down to do my makeup. I found this super cute apron that keeps my mirror covered majority of the time, helps me not get stuck skin picking as often. And yeah, when I want to use my mirror, I lift the cover and sit down to do my makeup. I also have these clings and messages to myself that help me feel empowered and kind of take a moment of self-love and self-care while I'm looking at myself in the mirror. So as I mentioned, I have dermatillomania, and while I don't always cover my skin picking when I'm having a flare-up like I'm having right now, I'm covering it today because I feel triggered when I see the red spots and kind of want to explore and check them even more. So actually wearing makeup can help me keep my hands off my face. So I'm going to start with some NARS concealer that I use. I use the Radiant Creamy Rich Concealer in Light Vanilla. And I'm going to go through and kind of spot all of these picked areas. And you know, for those who aren't familiar with dermatillomania, it basically is compulsive skin picking characterized by the inability to stop and causing tissue damage, scar tissue, emotional distress, impedes your everyday life, and not diagnosable or related to things such as self-harm. You know, in self-harm, there's actually an intent and an intent to feel usually, whereas in skin picking, it can often happen mindlessly without any intent. You know, our hands could maybe be automatically scanning our skin, looking for something to level, and we don't know what we're doing till we literally look down and see blood on our hands. So the two are actually different disorders. My skin picking started when I was 5 years old. I remember having these bug bites that, you know, would last on me from summertime when I got them till Christmas, because I would just keep reopening them and picking them. And I never knew what I was doing or why I was doing it, or to me, you know, most importantly at that time, how to stop. And my skin picking really followed me everywhere growing up. I'd lose hours in the mirror picking my skin, cancel plans, miss engagements, outings with friends. I remember I had a school nurse actually one time stop me and accuse me of self-harming. I had a college counselor who had heard that I was using meth. This was all just due to the appearance of my skin. So there's really a lack of awareness around skin picking disorder, and I'm out to change that. Now that I have my spots covered, I'm going to let the creamy concealer kind of sit and bake for a second. And I'm going to go in with my Maybelline multi-use concealer, which I love doing under my eyes. I always have such dark circles, but you know, what can you do? And while I let that kind of chill on my face for a moment, I'm gonna line the waterline of my lower lashes with Maybelline Tattoo Studio in white. When I look at my skin picking and how long I've been doing it, it's really been about 32 years, but 27 of them I went undiagnosed or misdiagnosed. And that's largely because skin picking disorder has only been diagnosable since 2013. So there is, as I mentioned, you know, a huge need for more awareness, understanding, support, research, community, and that's a lot of the reason why I started my nonprofit, the Picking Me Foundation. So the Picking Me Foundation is actually the only 501c3 nonprofit focused on dermatillomania that I founded in 2016. And that was right after I got out of the hospital from a flare-up with my dermatillomania, where I'd picked my inner thigh so badly that I actually contracted the life-taking bacteria MRSA. And, you know, there was talks about potentially losing my leg, and so much going on at that time in regard to the amount of shame and embarrassment I felt for the situation I thought I'd got myself into. And, you know, it was there where I actually learned the term dermatillomania, and which led me to receiving a diagnosis. So, something really did come out of it, which I'm very grateful for. But also I was immediately it was followed by me seeing the lack of understanding and everything supporting the skin picking community out there, which is really turned into Picking Me Foundation's mission. We are dedicated to building a community, spreading awareness, inspiring acceptance all around skin picking disorder. And we do so through a couple of our initiatives. Some of those are like our support group that was actually the first online skin picking support group. We started the support group in person in 2017, moved it online in 2020, and we have now seen, over 3,600 members show up and attend, averaging around 40 each session every other Tuesday online, which has just been incredible. I mean, there's something super powerful, being in a room full of your people, especially who experience, what you go through and something that you thought no one else knew about or could have these thoughts that you have. And here is a Zoom room of our people. So, gosh, I love support groups. So grateful for that initiative. And we also run an art gallery online, which has about 400 submissions, called Drawing with Derma. Sometimes it's hard to talk about it, so I say let's draw about it. And those have come in worldwide, all expressing what this disorder can feel like. And we also have our What's With Your Skin challenge, our social media challenge, where we encourage people to place unlikely objects on their skin and then take a photo and share it to kind of start convos and spread awareness about skin picking, yes, but also challenge the essence of good skin or bad skin. Us skin pickers are often met with the phrase, "What's with your skin?" or "What happened to your face?" And so this is kind of a playful way to own the illness so it doesn't own us. Now I'm going in with my second layer of the NARS Creamy Light Vanilla Concealer. And this is just because my skin is quite picked at this time. And one thing I've learned with having this chronic condition and starting my nonprofit is the skin picking might not stop, but the suffering can. So I used to have flare-ups like this and be in the house for days, ashamed and embarrassed to do anything or see anyone. And it really was getting to dictate and lead my life for me. But now, even though if I am having a time when I'm going through a flare-up like I am now, I'm still able to use my strategies, be gentle with myself post-picking episode. This disorder already tears us apart and doesn't deserve a minute more of our time. So yeah, just to mention, it's not all about being pick-free, but really having that suffering, that incredible suffering of having dermatillomania end. So I've blended the second layer in as best as I can, and now I'm going in with spot touching Maybelline Super Stay Compact. I'm using this in Buff Beige, and that'll be to add a little more coverage over my scabs. So since starting Picking Me, I've actually become the first person to speak on Capitol Hill with Dermatillomania. I've become a published author, sharing my story from silent sufferer to adamant advocate, spreading awareness and resources and offering a community, kind of the home I was always looking for with my Picking Me Foundation. I've gotten to train estheticians, dermatologists, recently with Dermatology Times, mental health providers at different conferences around the world. Recently, there's been a couple mini documentaries made about me and skin picking disorder. I really like the Vice one that came out not too long ago. And been featured in, Women's Health, Vogue, Daily UK, New York Post, Stylist, BuzzFeed News, really anyone who will hear my story and let me share it, I'm in. Now that my picking spots are more covered, I'm going to even out my complexion again with the Maybelline Stay Powder and blend and tap it over my scabs. You know, in getting to work with so many skin pickers and their supporters, their loved ones, and education providers to the skin picking community, I've really gotten to get to know my people. And something I would say or I'd love to share is, I find us skin pickers are very, we're empathetic, we're sensitive creatures, we're slightly perfectionistic, and if we're gonna do a job, we're gonna get it done, and we're gonna get it done well. We're a little impulsive, we wear our hearts on our sleeve, and sometimes that's through blood, but, we're a pretty powerful and empowering group of people. And the more skin pickers I meet, I've said it once and I'll say it again, it remains true, but I have never met someone with skin picking disorder that I don't like. So just saying. All right, so now I'm going to use Ilia's Soft Focus Fade Into You Finishing Powder. And this will kind of set the makeup that I've applied already and help me not have to keep adding layers of concealer. But something I'm often asked regarding my skin picking is what are my top tips for managing and living with this mental illness. So I'd love to offer a few of those. First, I like to break my skin picking episodes down as either focused or scanning. Focused picking is when, you're coming home from work or school and you just want to pass your hallway mirror and enter your home, but something catches your eye out of the mirror and, you're drawn in and cut to, you're fixing these perceived imperfections for hours and you realize you still have your coat on. And that's very focused picking. It's very intentional. A scanning picking episode would be more, your hands are kind of mindlessly moving with, a mind of their own. And, they're scanning, they're searching for something, looking for something to level. And you're not telling yourself to skin pick. It's just kind of happening. It's important to break down the two different types of episodes because they actually require different strategies for managing them. All right, now that I have my base on, since it's a little washed over, I go in with Laura Geller compact powders. I have them in porcelain, light, tropic hue, and medium for the baked bronze. And this helps add some contour and life to my face. But for those focused and scanning strategies and how they're different, I wanted to suggest, for scanning, something you might try if you're a scanner would be something that brings awareness. So for that, you could tie or wear jingly bracelets around your wrist. And that's something that every time my hand would kind of come up here and scan or look for something, I might not notice it by feel, but when I put the bracelets on with bells, literally, I can, I hear it. It's kind of like an auditory alert, if you will. For, let's see, focused picking, I'd suggest more something like altering your environment. And that could look like buying light bulbs that change colors so that the light in your bathroom is a little bit different and not as optimal for skin picking, or taping your light switch down in your bathroom so that you don't turn on the light and leave the door ajar. You could add washi tape to your floor before the mirror, and you can't cross the line if you're going to use the mirror. Or hang a scarf or Post-its or clings or love notes to yourself on your mirror to kind of shake up your environment and set yourself up to succeed. And then, of course, there's blockers. Blockers can kind of help with both focused and scanning picking. Something that they can show up in different forms too. So blockers could be, perhaps you wear acrylic or fake nails, and this kind of makes it harder to pick. You might be scanning and go to grab something, but you're more blocked from doing so because of the thick fake acrylic or fake nail tip. Blockers could also be clothing. You know, maybe wearing a hat keeps you from checking up and scalp picking, or socks or pants or leggings with scrunchies on the end so that you don't lift up a pant leg and search under. You know, using clothing as blockings can be super helpful. And then also blockers in terms of everyday wear. Sometimes you take an activity that you find yourself picking in. For me, it would be while I'm on my phone scrolling. If I have one hand scrolling, the other hand might be checking. So you might want to take your blocker and use it and prime yourself for that situation by having the blocker there and ready. Some that I like to have on hand specifically are guitar picking finger covers. Those are really helpful in they're perforated, they're breathable. You can just slip one on, and then instead of feeling this, you feel the guitar playing finger cover. It's like a silicone base. So I recommend those for blocking as well. And now I've got my Maybelline Superstay again and this angled fine brush, and I'm gonna go and kind of line under my waterline. And I find that when I add my eyeliner on bottom, this actually helps it from moving, from, you know, smudging, dripping down my face, what have you. So a couple other top tips though that I wanted to offer. For me especially, I love to use sunglasses in the bathroom, whether it's at home, in my bathroom personally, where I keep, you know, just cheap, party sunglasses, I think they look like, and buy them in bulk online, and then keep some in my bathroom, carry some in my purse if I'm going to work and I need to use them in the work bathroom or a friend's house, out to dinner, what have you. You know, it just helps limit my vision while I'm in the bathroom. Next up here, I have Anastasia's Brow Wiz in soft brown. Tried and true favorite. And, you know, a lot of my brow scars are actually from skin picking. So I do like to go through and add a little bit more, kind of fill in these holes here and give my eye a little more shape. But another tip I wanted to offer as well is when you're, you know, finding an activity that you're picking in, perhaps driving is one where you notice that your hands get noisy and start wandering and scanning. Two options here. You could either, when you drive, apply an essential oil that's unfamiliar to you, like a scent of peppermint or lemon, something that's not part of your everyday wear, and use that on your wrists. And what you're going to notice is when your hands are reaching to your face and kind of looking for something, you're going to smell that. And that's going to be your cue where you can make a choice to put your hand down or kind of keep going. So that's one I use while driving. And another is I actually tie pipe cleaners, like from a craft set. I tie pipe cleaners on my steering wheel. And this helps keep something just there for my hands to be moving around and, you know, not get too distracted while I'm driving. So I have found that one to be pretty helpful as well. Let's just get a little more here and a little more here. Okay, I think we are good on the brow. Okay, so now we have Ilia's Daylight Highlighting Powder. I love this. It's super pretty and soft with a little bit of glow. And certain everyday activities can be hard for me with my dermatillomania. You know, take showering, for instance. There's a lot of things really in the shower that make showering pretty hard for me. Whether it be, you know, the visual of getting to see all my skin and perhaps finding imperfections I think I need to fix, or touch, you know, having to touch all parts of my body that I might feel something that triggers me. So showering itself has been pretty difficult for me, but there are some ways that I make it doable. Just gonna start my eyes here, and I'll be using Ilia, their Warm Nude Palette and Color Hunter. So for showering, for me, it looks like this. When I go to enter the shower, I'm actually keeping the door open the whole time. So I go to my bathroom, and I actually will be leaving the door to the bathroom open the whole time I'm in the shower, and using any hallway light that I have to shower by. I have a dinosaur nightlight in my bathroom, I'm pretty proud of, and I use that nightlight also to shower by, so that I'm not gonna have you know, prime opportunity to really see everything on my skin. I bring in my bathrobe so that I can immediately cover up post-shower. I find that really helpful to have there right away, so there's no exploring right after. And during the shower, I use kind of lukewarm water. I find that really hot water makes my skin dry out more, which then I have something more to pick at. So kind of lukewarm water. I use shower gloves to exfoliate. I don't use any harsh salts or abrasive materials to exfoliate. I just use the gloves themselves. And also I have a face brush. So when I'm washing my face, my fingertips are covered and using a face brush. And all of this helps me to shower and shower the way I want to. And I forgot, I bring in a playlist. And, you know, a lot of times we talk about adding timers to our showers so that we don't get stuck scanning or doing something we don't want to be doing. And what I've found actually really helpful is to bring in a playlist that, you know, the first 4 or 5 songs are songs I love and I want to hear and I'm excited by, and then I put on something I can't stand. And I'm not going to get into that, but or which ones they are, but put something on that you would leave the shower to turn off. And that's kind of what's helped me shower the way I need to continue to take care of myself. Now for some eyeliner, I use Maybelline Tattoo Studio in Bold Brown and Purple Pop. Let's do these. Couple facts to take away. So skin picking affects 1 in 20 people. Although I think it's a lot more, but it's just that's how many people are reporting. And it is thought to affect 75% more women than men. Although I think that number is also off because I don't think as many men report or discuss their mental illness as women. There is thought to be a genetic component to skin picking disorder. although there needs to be more research done behind it, but it is believed to be something that, you know, BFRBs, body-focused repetitive behaviors, can run in the family. You know, someone might be a nail biter, someone might be a hair puller, and someone might be our skin picker. So definitely great to have those convos and be open with your family, even if they show up at different severities. You know, that's also common as well. Some of us might be a little more prone to self-grooming, but not have a specific BFRB. So that is all stuff you can talk about and learn more with each other when you share with your family. Skin picking is related to OCD, but not the same as OCD. So they actually require different forms of treatment. OCD's form of treatment being exposure response prevention therapy, ERP, and skin picking disorders, treatment of choice being CBT, cognitive behavioral therapy. Skin picking has been listed, is currently listed in the DSM-5 as related to OCD. And it's wonderful that we get recognized as, you know, an illness that's diagnosable. But it is definitely not the same as OCD. Let me get the purple on a little bit, okay. Last here are my lips. I'll be using Tower 28's lip liner in Fill Me In. And, you know, I just wanted to thank all of you who tuned in and are watching. It really means a lot that you're hearing my story, that you're learning about dermatillomania. You know, if you know 20 people and you're not this compulsive skin picker, you know someone struggling and suffering with this mental illness. So thank you for taking the time to learn and experience and share about skin picking. I appreciate it. I hope it's been an interesting and informative get ready with me. If you'd like to see more, please let me know. I am just really, really grateful for all of you and appreciate your time. So thank you so much for being here. And just last steps here, I add a bit of Ilia's Balm in Runaway. This gives me a pop, a color. And then to top it all off, I go back with Tower 28's Juice Balm in Drink. Gives a little more red. And my friends, my loves, there we have it. We have gotten ready with me. And thank you for being here. For everything dermatillomania and more, please check out pickingme.org. Join our newsletter, reach out anytime. Know you are not alone and have a whole community behind you. Plus, I see you, I feel you, and I'm here for you, okay? And here's to picking me. Mwah! Bye.